Hi guys, welcome back to another episode. As you previously, hopefully, you saw. If you didn't, go back and see it. It was an amazing one. Mechelen won on the away match against Roma for the second match of the Champions League playoff. Mechelen won 3-0 with an unbelievable hat-trick by Frankie, his first in his career. One of the goals was this one, right-footed, a beautiful goal. This was an absolute dream night. But now, coming back home on the flight back to Belgium, the feedback around not just the club or the country, but basically around Europe, because the truth is that Mechelen had just eliminated one of the big Italian Serie A teams. Because even though Roma is not the giant it used to be, it actually is an historical club. It was all over the news, especially for the hat-trick done by Frankie, reminding people that he's only 18 years old. So this was also a major flash of light into Frankie's career. But the feedback since that match has been amazing. All the players here are still quite excited because they still cannot believe what they have accomplished. And yeah, they have qualified for the Champions League group stage. So there will be the group draw, which we'll be looking at more ahead in this video. And yeah, Frankie was just enjoying himself, posting online, watching the reactions. And yeah, this is what dreams are made of. It was what Frankie posted with the picture of one of his goal celebrations. And yeah, now going back to Mechelen facilities, and they actually had a bit of a welcoming party, because again, this was historical and now the fans are still believing. So still nice community of friends, some media, and yeah, waiting for the team to arrive, being saluted. But this was indeed a great night, not just for Mechelen, but obviously for Belgium football as well. And now that the team is getting back to the club facilities, it was time for also Frankie to go back home and also enjoy a little bit with what has just happened. But still, Frankie knows exactly what happened last season, not just with the injuries, but also what happened with the club in terms of results, because although they did an amazing season, they have to understand that they lost 2 titles in the same season. They went to the Belgian Cup final, which Frankie did not play because he was still not fit, which they lost 2-0. And then they lost the possibility to win the league when they draw at home with Club Rouge. And that was exactly what made Club Rouge champions, because they only needed the draw to become champions. And Mechelen was winning 1-0 until the 82nd minute, when Club Rouge made the equalizer and they became champions. Also a text from the agent, and yeah, he's saying like his phone has not stopped ringing since yesterday evening. He's hoping for something great soon. Obviously, Frankie is drawing a lot of attention after that performance. Not just because of the result that they got, but because of being against Roma, being the Champions League playoff game, and also because Frankie is only 18. So there's a lot of potential there, and yeah, clubs may start looking at Frankie's performance a little bit closer. Back at home, his friend was already there expecting him. It was time to celebrate just a little bit, because you gotta say it is well deserved. And Frankie said, yeah, let's just go and grab some dinner together, enjoy a little bit, because these moments are also necessary, right? And Frankie has been showing a great mentality for work, progress, and keeping his feet on the ground. And yeah, why not? Just a dinner, and justifiable to celebrate with a friend, chilled, not like Frankie's vacation obviously, but that is different. That is exactly that, vacation. This is just going out for dinner, a quick, humble dinner with just a friend. But yeah, these are just moments, because Game League, it's just around the corner, and there are objectives still to be played, and that's what we are following next. So Mechelen back in the league. Let's go Mechelen.
Don't even go there.
Here we are back in the Belgian league. Second fixture of this new season. The first one was not a good game. It was a draw, 0-0, so not a good start for Mechelen. But hopefully, given the amazing match Mechelen had against Roma and securing a place in the Champions League group stage, hopefully they are motivated enough to give us a great performance this evening. So let's jump right into the game. Short pass. Frankie. Well done, Frankie. Can go all the way. Foul! It's a penalty! The ref says no! Oh, come on, ref. Oh, this is controversial. I think it was a pen, ref. Well played. Can be dangerous now, Frankie. Still going? Frankie? Foul! And it's a dangerous free kick for Mechelen. Foul on Frankie. The ref goes speak to him. Oh, hit it in the face. Let's see the free kick. Be taken. Shot. And it's a goal! 1-0 for Mechelen. Free kick. Brederode makes it 1-0 for Mechelen. Beautifully taken. And that's it. 1-0. Great shot. And that's it. 1-0 for Mechelen. And yeah, here the shot got deflected. Corner for La Louvière. Taken first. Oh, header above the goal. Went a long way. Almost at the end of the first half. 1-0 for Macklin. No point on risking too much. And that's it. End of the first half. 1-0 for Macklin. Brederode made it 1-0 in a free kick, which was through a foul on Frankie. So dominating the game so far. Let's see how the second half will go. Cleared. Counter. No, Macklin is not doing any counter attack. This is a dangerous result. Franklin trying to pick up the ball. Well played. Can assist. Well done, Frankie. Can take the shot. Yes! 2-0 for Macklin. Benito Haman makes it 2-0. Assisted by Frankie. Here you have it. Gain the ball here. Frankie quickly seeing Benito Haman on the open space and makes it 2-0. One assist for Frankie. And Frankie is getting substituted after the assist. Applauded by the fans, obviously because of the assist. This was not a great game by Frankie. Penalty against Macklin right at the end. No point on arguing with the ref. It was a pen. The girl stepped on La Louvière player heel. So definitely yes, it's a penalty. Let's see if they're gonna make it. Makembo to take the pen. Shot. Almost saved it, but it's 2-1. And they're gonna need it to get back in the game, but there's not enough time. And that's it. Game over. Macklin wins 2-1. Frankie made an assist for the second one. And first 3 points of the season for Macklin. Well done. So, after the league game, a win, a start of a new week, and we're with Frankie ending the gym session. And this week it would not have a league match because it was international break for at least 2 weeks. So Frankie just doing gym session, keeping his shape, his form. Although he got substituted on the last match against La Louvière, he did get an 8.5 rating. This was more of a manager option. The result was 2-0 second half, so the manager decided to spare Frankie physically. And now that we're off with training, let's just have a quick shower and we'll be off back home. And after a quick shower, we're done. Let's just head out and go back home, have something to eat, and give Frankie a little rest. But actually, his phone rang and he got a text message. And this was no more, no less than Jorge Jesus calling Frankie to the Portuguese national squad. So this was unbelievable, not expected at all. Frankie was over the moon and he didn't know exactly what to do just to celebrate. And yeah, another dream just came true. and a lot sooner than Frankie expected, to be honest. Although this is a call for two friendlies, one against Uruguay and another against Spain, but both matches are in Portugal, in Lisbon to be exact. So it's still a great moment, but because it counts as an international cap. So Frankie was over the moon, and he couldn't wait to actually tell everyone. His agent was actually one of the first people to just drop a quick message. But now that this had just happened, and Frankie knew that, yeah, you gotta pack your bags and meet up with the national team in Portugal. So Frankie needed to prepare himself. Obviously, this is big, not just for Frankie, but also for Macklin, for the club. Here were also some of Frankie's neighbors. He just went to go and give a quick shout out. How do you do? Move along. They had their car parked in front of the house. Frankie is getting a little bit famous around town now, so that's normal. But now just time to ease the moment and actually prepare, not just logistically, because yeah, he still needs to travel to Portugal, but also to get mentally prepared for this big moment. First international cap right at his doorstep. It's not guaranteed that Frankie will play, because the international cap only counts when you play. If you don't play, it doesn't count. So, but there's hope. The first big step is done. He's been called to the Portugal national team, what he always wanted. And yeah, his parents obviously will be the ones not expecting this, and Frankie was actually planning not to tell them yet and make the surprise when they see his name on the news, if they get the chance to see it. But they know that it is Frankie's dream, and with the performance that he's been having at the start of this season, being in such a young age, it's normal. So next day, time to fly to Portugal and present to the national team, be at service to Portugal. So being picked up from his house next day, later in the day, and head to the airport. And at this point, Frankie was just thinking of all the stuff that he might be feeling regarding what will be like to meet up with all the Portuguese stars, what will be like to do the training sessions with them, and actually to enter the pitch with all of those players, which actually are minimum superstars, because that's what they are. And his dream will be right there, just to close the gap. He just wishes that he can come in one of the games, to say the least. But let's see what's gonna happen. Arriving at the airport, almost evening, spend the day there, and then be at the service of Portugal and Jorge Jesus. So yeah, beautiful sunset, and there goes Frankie off to Lisbon. One thing that might be important to notice is that both games will be at the Benfica Stadium, Estádio da Luz. So yeah, it's already public. Frankie is in Portugal.